reading from a digital copy of the Iliad. I put it into a reader and I will put this repository up with the source. Anybody wants to download it? Yeah. That's multiple translations of the original Iliad text. Reading from book one. Sing, O goddess, the anger of Achilles, son of Peleus, that brought countless ills upon the Achaeans. Many a brave soul did it send hurrying down to Hades, and many a hero did it yield a prey to dogs and vultures. For so was the will of Zeus, fulfilled from the day on which the son of Atreus, king of men, and great Achilles, first fell out with one another. And which of the gods was it that set them on to quarrel? It was the son of Zeus and Leto. For he was angry with the king and sent a pestilence upon the host to plague the people, because the son of Atreus had dishonored Croesus, his priest. Now Croesus had come to the ships of the Achaeans to free his daughter, and he had brought with him a great ransom. Moreover, he bore in his hand the scepter of Apollo, wreathed with a suppliant's wreath, and he besought the Achaeans, but most of all the two sons of Atreus, who were their chiefs. Sons of Atreus, he cried, and all other Achaeans, may the gods who dwell in Olympus grant you to sack the city of Priam and to reach your homes in safety. But free my daughter and accept a ransom for her in reverence to Apollo, son of Zeus. On this, the rest of the Achaeans with one voice were for respecting the priest and taking the ransom that he offered, but not so Agamemnon. Agamemnon, who spoke fiercely to him and sent him roughly away. Old man, he said, let me not find you tearing about our ships, nor yet coming hereafter. Your scepter of the god and your wreath shall profit you nothing. I will not free her. She shall grow old in my house at Argos, far away from her home, busying herself with her loom and visiting my couch. So go, and do not provoke me, or it shall be the worse for you. The old man feared him and obeyed. Not a word he spoke, but went by the shore of the sounding sea, and prayed apart to King Apollo, whom lovely Leto had borne. Hear me, he cried. O God of the silver bow, you protect Creus and holy Sela, and rule Tendios with your might. Hear me, O God of Smithen, if I have ever decked your temple with garlands, or burned for you thigh bones and fats of bull or goats, grant my prayers, and let your arrows avenge these my tears upon the Danaans. Thus that did he pray, and Apollo heard his prayer. He came down furious from the summits of Olympus, with his bow and his quiver upon his shoulder, and the arrows rattled on his back, with a rage that trembled within him. He sat himself down away from the ships, with a face as dark as night, and his silver bow rang, death, as he shot his arrow in the midst of them. First he smote their mules, then their hounds. But presently he aimed his shafts at the people themselves, and all day long the pyres of the dead were burning. 9 whole days he shot his arrows among the people, but upon the 10th day, Achilles called them in assembly, moved thereto by Hera, who saw the Achaeans in their death throes and had compassion upon them. Then, when they were got together, he rose and spoke among them. Son of Atreus, said he, I deem that we should now turn roving home if we would escape destruction, for we are being cut down by war and pestilence at once. Let us ask some priest or seer, or some reader of dreams, for dreams too are of Zeus. Who can tell us why Phoebus Apollo is so angry, and say whether it is for some vow we have broken, or some hecatomb that we have not offered, or whether he will accept the saviors of lambs or goats without blemish, so as to take away the plague from us? With these words he sat down. Cleocles, son of Thestor, wisest of Argos, who knew things past and to come, rose to speak. He it is who guided the Achaeans with their fleet to Iliad through the Protophysane with Phoebus Apollo had inspired in him. With all sincerity and goodwill he addressed them thus: Achilles, loved of heaven, you bid me to tell you about the anger of King Apollo? I will therefore do so. But consider first and swear that you will stand by me. Heartily in word and deed, for I know that I shall offend one who rules the Argives with might, to whom all the Achaeans are in subjugation. A plain man cannot stand the anger of a king, who, if he swallow his displeasure now, will yet nurse revenge till he has wrecked it. Consider, therefore, whether or no you will protect me. And Achilles answered, Fear not, but speak as it is born, and upon you from heaven, for by Apollo, Cleocles, to whom you pray, and whose oracle you reveal to us, not a man at our ships shall lay his hands upon you, while I yet live to look upon the face of the earth. No, not through the name of Agamemnon himself, who is by far the foremost of the Achaeans. Therefore the seer spoke boldly. The god, he said, is angry neither about vow nor hecatomb, but for his priest's sake, whom Agamemnon has dishonored, in that he would not free his daughter nor take a ransom for her. Therefore he has sent these evils upon us, and will yet send others. He will not deliver the Danes from this pestilence till Agamemnon has restored the girl without fee or ransom to her father. And he sent a holy hecatomb to Christ. Thus we may perhaps appease him. With these words he sat down, and Agamemnon rose in anger. His heart was black with rage, his eyes flashed fire. And he scowled on the Cleocles, and he said, Seer, of evil you never yet prophesied smooth things concerning me. But have I ever loved to foretell that which was evil? You brought me neither comfort nor performance, and now you come seeing among the Danaans and saying that Apollo has plagued us, because I would not take a ransom for this girl, the daughter of Croesus. I've set my heart on keeping her in my own home, for I love her better than even my own wife, Cleomenstra. Cleo what now? Cleomenstra. Whose peer she is alike in form and figure? in understanding and accomplishment? Who's Cleomenstra? Does Agamemnon have more than one wife? Are we talking about the seasonality of a relationship? We're talking about a menstruation cycle. Still, I will not give her up. Still, I will give her up if I must, for I would have the people live, not die. Could have done that at the beginning, right? Saved a lot of lives. But you must find me a prize instead. What the what? Or alone among the Argives shall I be without one? This is not well. Why not? Get over yourself, dude. For you behold, all of you, that my prize is to go elsewhere. And Achilles answered, most noble son of Atreus, Codius beyond all humankind, how shall the Achaeans find you another prize? We have no common store from which to take one. Those we took from the cities have been awarded. We cannot disallow the awards that have been made already. Give this girl, therefore, to the god. And if ever Zeus grants us to sack the city of Troy, we will require you 3 and 4-fold. Then Agamemnon said, Achilles, valiant though you be, you shall not thus get the better of me in the matter of the mind. You shall not overreach. You shall not persuade me. Are you to keep your own prize while I sit tamely under my boss and give up the girl at your bidding? Let the Achaeans find me a prize in fair exchange to my liking, or I will come and take your own, or that of Ajax, or Odysseus, and he to whomsoever I may come shall rue my coming. But of this we will take throughout hereafter. For the present, let us draw a ship into the sea and find a crew for her expressly. Let us put a Hecatomb on board, and let us send Chryses also. Further, let some chief man among us be in command. Either Ajax or Idomeneus himself, or yourself, son of Cleus, mighty warrior that you are, that you may offer sacrifice and appease the anger of the god. Achilles scowled at him and answered, you are steeped in insolence and lust of gain. Sit down, fam, and calm down. Chill out. You're not deserved. You're not owed. What has happened has happened. You have a disagreement with the seasonality of the relationship with your wife. There was a time and a period when you and your wife did not understand and could not be together. And so you scream and you argue and you fight to pull understanding and meaning away, and then demand that others go give prize and bring it to you and lay it at your feet. What kind of bullshit taxation and extortion shit does this sound like? With what heart can any of the Achaeans do your bidding, either on foray or in opening fight? I came to make war here not because the Trojans are responsible for any wrong committed against me. I have no quarrel with them. They've not raided my cattle nor my horses, nor cut down my harvest on the fertile plains of Iliad. For between me and them there is a great space, both mountain and sounding sea. We followed you, sir insolence, for your pleasure, not ours, to gain satisfaction from the Trojans, for your shameless self and vendors. You forget this and threaten to rob me of the prize for which I have toiled, for which the sun of the Achaeans have given me. Never, when the Achaeans sack any rich city of the Trojans, do I receive so good a prize as you do, though it is my hands that do the better part of the fighting. When the sharing comes, your share is far the largest, and I, indeed, must go back to my ships, take what I can get and be thankful. When my labor of fighting is done, now therefore I should go back to Pia. It would be much better for me to return to my home with my ships, for I will not stay here be dishonored to gather gold and substance for you. And Agamemnon answered, fleeth you alone. I shall make you no prayers to stay. I have others here who honor me. Bullshit. And above all, Zeus, the Lord of the council. There is no king here so hateful to me as you are, for you are ever quarrelsome and ill affected. What, thou you be brave? Was it not heaven that made you? So go then, back to where you came, with your ships and comrades, to lord over the Mindians, your Myrmidons. I care neither for you nor for your anger, and thus will I do. Since Phoebus Apollo is taking Creus for me, I shall send her with my ship and my followers, but I shall come to your tent and take my own prize, Croesus, that you may learn how much more prestigious I am than you are, and that another may fear to set upon himself as an equal or comparable with me. The son of Peleus felt grief, and his heart within his shaggy breast was divided, whether to draw his sword, push the others aside, and kill the son of Atreus, or restrain himself and check his anger. While he was thus in two minds, as we all are, left and right, hoping to find balance and center. While he was thus in two minds and was drawing his mighty sword from his scabbard, Athea came down from heaven. For Hera had sent her in the love she bore to them both, and seized the son of Peleus by his yellow hair visible to him alone, like a lion. Are we even talking about a story of humans, or are these animals? And seized the son of Peleus by his yellow hair visible to him alone, for of the others no man could see her. Achilles turned in amaze, and by the fire that flashed from her eyes at once knew she was Athena. Why are you here? Said he, daughter of Aegisberia Zeus. To see the pride of Agamemnon, son of Atreus. Let me tell you, and it shall surely be. He shall pay for his insolence with his life. Karma's a bitch. And Athea said, I come from heaven, and if you will hear me to bid you stay your anger, Hera sent me, who cares for both of you alike. Cease then this brawling. Do not draw your sword. Rail at him if you will, and your railing will not be in vain, for I tell you, and it shall surely be, that you shall hereafter receive gifts 3 times as splendid by reason of this present insult. Hubris. 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 Hold therefore and obey, goddess, answered Achilles. However angry a man may be, he must do as you two command him. This will be best for the gods, ever hear the prayers of him who has obeyed them. He stayed his hand on the silver hilt of his sword. He thrust it back in the scabbard as Athea bid him. Then she went back to Olympus among the gods, and to the house of Aegisberia Zeus. But the son of Peleus again began railing at the son of Atreus, for he was still in rage. How will we do? Wine bibber, he cried. You drunk asshole. I think is what that means. Wine bibber, he cried, with the face of a dog and the heart of a hind. You never dare to go out with the host and fight, nor yet with our chosen men in ambuscade. You shun this as you do death itself. You had rather go round and rob for prizes from any man who contradicts you. You devour your people, for you are king over a feeble folk. A feeble folk? Are my folks feeble? Uh, you are a king over a feeble folk, otherwise son of Atreus. Henceforward you would insult no man. Therefore I say, and I swear it with a great oath, nay, but this my sceptre, which shall sprout neither leaf, nor shoot, nor bud anew from the day on which it left its parent stem upon the mountains. For the axe stripped it of leaf and bark, and now the sons of the Achaeans bear it as judges and guardians of the decrees of heaven. So surely and solemnly do I swear that hereafter they shall look fondly for Achilles, and shall not find him. In the day of your distress, when your men fall dying from the murderous hands of Hector, you shall not know how to help them, and you shall render your heart with rage for the hour when you offered insult to the best of nations. With this, the son of Peleus dashed his golden bestudded scepter on the ground and took his seat, while the son of Atreus was beginning fiercely from his place upon the other side. Then stood up smooth-tongued Nestor, the facile speaker of the Pleiades, and the words fell from his lips sweeter than honey. 2 generations of men born and bred in Theos had passed away under his rule, and he was now reigning over the third with all sincerity and goodwill. Therefore he addressed them thus. Of a truth, he said, a great sorrow hath befallen the Achaean land. Surely Priam with his sons would rejoice, and the Trojans be glad at heart, if they could hear this quarrel between you two, who are so excellent in fight and counsel. I'm older than either of you, therefore be guided by me. All right, let's have some binding arbitration. Moreover, I have been the familiar friend of men, even greater than you are, and they did not discard my counsel. Never again can I behold such men as Pirithous and Darius, shepherd of his people, or as Canis, Exdios, godlike Polyphemus, and Theus, son of Aegeus, peer of the immortals. These were the mightiest men ever born upon this earth. Mighty were they, and when they fought the fiercest tribes of mountain savages, they utterly overthrew them. I came from the distant Pylos, and went about among them, for they would have me come, and I fought as it was in me to do. Not a man now living could withstand them, but they heard my words and were persuaded by them. So be it also with yourselves, for this is the more excellent way. The pen is mightier than the sword. Pen is mightier than the sword. To teach one is to save one. To murder one is to lose two. You hear me? To teach one is to save one. To murder one is to lose two. It's simple math. No, it doesn't stop there. To murder is to lose three. No, 5. To use the pen to educate and teach is to save one. To murder kills the soul of that who murders. kills the body of that who has been murdered, kills the hope and humanity of the future generations that would come to see that peace might not be possible because we've killed our ancestors by drawing to sword with that which we could have explained with pen. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Therefore, Agamemnon, though you be pestilous, take not this girl away. Therefore, Agamemnon, though you be prestigious, take not this girl away. For the son of the Achaeans have already given her to Achilles, and you, Achilles, strive not further with the king. For no man who by the grace of Zeus wields a scepter has like honor with Agamemnon. You are strong and have a goddess for your mother, but Agamemnon is more prestigious than you, for he has more people under him. Son of Atreus, check your anger, I implore you. And this quarrel with Achilles, who, in the day of battle, is a tower of strength to the Achaeans. Do you hear me? Is a tower of strength. And Agamemnon answered, O sir, all that you have said is true. All that you have said is true, but this man wants to become our Lord and Master. He must be Lord of all, King of all, and leader of all, and this shall hardly be. Granted that the gods have made him a great warrior, have they also given him the right to speak with railing? Achilles in turn said to him, I should be a mean coward, he cried, but were I to give in to you in all things, order other people about, not me, for I shall obey no longer. For I shall obey no longer. For I say, and lay my saying to your heart, I shall fight neither you nor any man about this girl. For those that take were those that gave. Forever I say, and lay my saying to your heart, I shall fight neither for you nor any man about this girl. For those that take were those that also gave. But of all else that is at my ship, you shall carry away nothing by force. Nothing by force. Try that others may see if you do. My spear shall be reddened with your blood. When they had quarreled thus angrily, they rose and broke up the assembly at the ships of the Achaeans. The son of Peleus went back to his tent, and ships with the son of Menteos and his company, while Agamemnon drew a vessel into water and chose a crew of 20 oarsmen. He escorted Chryses on board and sent moreover a hecatomb for the god. And Odius went as a leader. These then went on board and sailed their ways over the sea. But the son of Atreus bade the people purify themselves. So they purified themselves and cast their filth into the sea. Baptized. Got clean to get on a boat. Something to do on a boat. Then they offered a hecatombs of bulls and goats without blemish on the seashore, and the smoke with the savior of their sacrifice rose, curling up toward heaven. Thus did they busy themselves throughout the host. Why does the word host keep coming up in his first book? But Agamemnon did not forget the threat that he had made. Achilles and called his trusty messenger and squires, Thalios and Eurybates. Go, said he, to the tent of Achilles, son of Peleus, and take Rheus on the hand and bring her hither. If he will not give her, I shall come with others and take her, which will press him harder. He charged them straightly further and dismissed them, Whereon they went their way sorrowfully by the seaside, till they came to the tents and ships of the Myrmidons. They found Achilles sitting by his tent and his ships, and ill pleased he was when he beheld them. They stood fearfully and reverently before him, and never a word did they speak. But he knew them and said, Welcome, heralds, messengers of gods and men. Draw near, my quarrel is not with you, but with Agamemnon, who has sent you for the girl Briseis. Therefore, Patroclus, bring her and give her to them, but let them be witnessed by the blessed gods, by mortal men. Draw near, my quarrel is not with you, but with Agamemnon, who has sent you for the girl Briseis. Therefore, Patroclus, bring her and give her to them. Women are not bartering chips. Our fertility, our humanity, our earth, that which gives life, is not a chip. It's not to ever be traded or to be bartered. We do not summon one's life to be put into service of another. We do not enslave one body to be a reward or a prize for another. I wish it said that. I say that. Do you say that? Do you believe that? Patroclus did as his dear commander had bidden him. He brought Briseis from the tent and gave her over to the heralds. He took her with them to the ships of the Achaeans, and the woman was loath to go. No shit. Then Achilles went home alone. Achilles went all alone by the side of the Horror Seas, weeping and looking out upon the boundless waste of waters. He raised his hands in prayer to his immortal mother. Mother, he cried, you bore me doomed to live but for a brief season. Surely Zeus, who thunders for Olympus, might have given honor in return. It is not so. Agamemnon, son of Atreus, has done me dishonor and has robbed me of my prize by force. And he spoke, as he spoke, he wept aloud. And his mother heard him, where she was sitting in the depths of the sea, hard by the old one, her father. Forthwith she rose, as it were a gray mist out of the waves, sat down before them as she stood weeping, caressed him with her hand, and said, My son, why are you weeping? What is it that gives you grief? Keep it not from my thinking, but tell me, that we may know it together. Achilles drew a deep sigh and said, You know it. Why tell you what you know well already? We went to the Theia, the strong city of Iliad, sacked it, and brought hither the spoil. The sons of the Achaeans shared it duly among themselves, and chose lovely Creus as the prize of Agamemnon. Creus, priest of Apollo, came to the ships of the Achaeans to free his daughter, and brought with him a great ransom. Moreover, he bore in his hand the scepter of Apollo, wreathed with a suppliant's wreath. And he besought the Achaeans, but most of all the two sons of Atreus, who were their chiefs. On this, the rest of the Achaeans with one voice were respecting the priest and taking the ransom he offered. But not so Agamemnon. He spoke fiercely to him and sent him away roughly. So he went back in anger, and Apollo, who loved him dearly, upon the Argives, heard his prayer. Then the god sent a deadly dart upon the Argives, and the people died thick on one another, for the arrows went everywhere among the wide host of the Achaeans. At last, the seer, in the fullness of his knowledge, declared to us the oracle of Apollo, and I was myself first to say that we should appease him. Whereon the son of Atreus rose in anger and threatened that which he had done since. The Achaeans are now taking the girl in a ship to Creus and sending gifts of sacrifice to the god. But the heralds have just taken from my tent the daughter of Rheus, whom the Achaeans had awarded to myself. Help your brave son. Therefore, if you are able, go to Olympus, and if you have ever done him service in word or deed, implore the aid of Zeus. Oft times at my father's house have I heard you of glory, in that you alone of the immortals saved the son of Cronos from ruin, when the others with Hera, Poseidon, Peleus, Athenia would have put him in bonds. It was you, goddess, who delivered him by calling to Olympus, the 100-handed one whom gods call Praeus, but men Aegeon. For he has more force even than his father. When therefore he took his seat all glorious beside the son of Cronos, and the other gods were afraid and did not bind him, go then to him, remind him of all this, clasp at his knees, mother, and bid him give successor to the Trojans. Let the Achaeans be hemmed in at the sterns of their ships and perish on the seashore, that they may reap what joy they may of their king, and that Agamemnon may rue his derangement in offering insult to the beast of the Achaeans. Thetis wept and answered, my son, woe is me that I have borne or suckled you. Would indeed that you had lived your span free from all sorrow at your ships, for it is all too brief, alas, that you should be at once short of life and long of sorrow above your peers. Woe! Therefore was the hour in which I bore you. Nevertheless, I will go to the snowy heights of Olympus and tell this tale to Zeus, if he will hear our prayer. Meanwhile, stay here where you are with your ships, nurse your anger against the Achaeans, and hold aloof from fight, for Zeus went yesterday to the Oceans to a feast among the Ethiopians, and the other gods went with him. He will return to Olympus 12 days hence. I will then go to his mansion paved with bronze, and he will beseech him, nor do I doubt that I shall be able to persuade him. On this she left him, still furious at the loss of her that had been taken by force from him. Meanwhile, Odysseus reached Creus with the hecatomb. When they had come inside the harbor, they furled the sails and laid them in the ship's hold. They slackened the forestays, lowered the mast into its place, and rowed the ship to the place where they would have her lie. There they cast out their mooring stones and made fast the horses. They then got out upon the seashore and landed the hecatomb for Apollo. Creus also left the ship, and Odysseus left her to the altar to deliver her into the hands of her father Creus. Said he, King of Agamemnon has sent me to bring you back your child and to offer sacrifice to Apollo on behalf of the Danans, that we may propitiate the god who has now brought sorrow upon the Argives. So saying, he gave the girl over to the father, who received her gladly, and they raged a holy hecatomb, all of orderly round the altar of the god. They washed their hands and took upon the barley meal to sprinkle over the victims. But Creus lifted his hands and prayed aloud on their behalf. Hear me, he cried, O God of the silver bow, you who protect Creus and holy Scylla and Rutendios with your might, even as you did hear me aforetime when I prayed, and did press hard upon the Achaeans, so hear me yet again, and stay his fearful pestilence from the Danans. Thus did he pray, and Apollo heard his prayer. And when they had done praying and sprinkling the barley meal, they drew back the heads of the victims and killed and flayed them. They cut out the thigh bones, wrapped them in 2 layers of fat, and set some pieces of raw meat on top of them, and then Creus laid them on wood, fire, and poured wine over them, while the young men stood near him with 5-pronged spits in their hands. When the thigh bones burned and they had tasted their inward meats, they cut up the rest small, put the pieces upon the spits, roasted them till they were done, drew them off then. When they had finished their work and the feast was ready, they ate it. And every man had his full share, so that all were satisfied. As soon as they had had enough to eat and drink, pages filled the mixing bowl with wine and water, and handed it around after giving every man his drinking offering. Thus, all day long, the young men worshipped the god with song, hymning him, chanting the joyous paean, and the god took pleasure with their voices. But when the sun went down and it came on dark, they laid themselves down to sleep by the stern cables of the ship, and when the child of morning rose finger to dawn, appeared they again set sail, for the host of the Achaeans, Apollo sent them a fair wind. So they raised their mast and hoisted their white sail aloft, and the sail bellied with the wind. The ship flew through the seething deep water, and the foam hissed against their bow as she sped onward. When they reached the wide-stretching coast of the Achaeans, they drew the vessel ashore, high and dry upon the sands, set her strong props beneath her, and went their ways to their own tents and ships. But Achilles stayed at his ship and nursed his anger. He went not to the honorable assembly, and sailed not forth to fight, but gnarled at his own heart, pining for battle in the war cry. Now after 12 days, the immortal gods came back in a body to us, and Zeus led the way. Thetis was not unmindful of the charge her son had laid upon her. So she rose from under the sea and went, and looked in mist through great heaven and early morning to Olympus, where she found the mighty son of Cronos sitting all alone upon the topmost ridges. She sat herself down before him, and with her left hand seized his knees, while with her right she caught him under the chin, and besought him, saying, Father, Zeus, if I ever did you service in word or deed among the mortals, hear my prayer, and do honor to my son, whose life is to be cut short so early. King Agamemnon has dishonored him by taking his prize and keeping him. Honor him then yourself, Olympian lord of counsel, and grant victory to the Trojans, till the Achaeans give my son his due, and load him with riches in requiem. Zeus sat for a while silent, without a word, but Thetis still kept firm hold of his knees, and besought him a second time, Nod your head, she said, and promise me surely, or else deny me, for you have nothing to fear, that I may learn how greatly you disdain me. At this, Zeus was much troubled and answered, I shall have trouble if you set me quarreling with Hera, for she will provoke me with her taunting speeches. Even now she is always railing at me before the other gods and accusing me of giving aid to the Trojans. But go now, lest she should find out. I will consider the matter and bring it about as you wish. Let's go. See, I nod my head that you believe me. This is the most solemn act that I can offer to any god. I nod my head. I don't need to bow anymore. I never recall my word or deceive or fail to do what I say when I have nodded my head. As he spoke, the son of Cronos bowed his dark brows, and the ambrosial locks swayed on his immortal head, till vast Olympus reeled. When the pair had thus laid their plans, they parted, Zeus to his mansion, while the goddess left the splendor of Olympus and plunged into the depths of the sea. The god rose from their seats before the coming of their sire. Not one of them dared to remain sitting, but all stood up as he came among them. Then he took his seat. But Hera, when she saw him, knew that he was silver-footed Thetis, the daughter of the Old One of the Sea, had been planning mischief, so she at once began to upbraid him. Trickster, she cried, which of the gods have you been taking into your counsels now? You're always settling matters in secret behind my back, and have never yet told me. Could I help you? One word of your intentions. What you up to, fam? Say it. Mean it. Hera replied, the sire of gods and men. You must not expect to be informed of all my counsels. You're my wife. What? But you would find it hard to understand them? But it is proper for you to hear. There is no one god or man who will be told sooner. Don't worry, I'll tell you my feeling. Nobody else will know before you, but me and everybody else. But I'll tell you my feeling. But when I mean to keep a matter to myself, you must not prior ask questions. Dreaded son of Cronos, answered Hera. What are you talking about? I pry and ask questions? Never. I let you have your own way in everything. What? Still, I have strong misgivings that Thetis, daughter of the Old One of the Sea, has been talking you over. For she was with you and had hold of your knees this same morning. I believe, therefore, you have been promising to give her glory to the Iliad, to Achilles, and to kill many people at the ships of the Achaeans. Wife, said Zeus, I can do nothing but you suspect me and find it out. You will take nothing by it, for I shall only dislike you the more, and it will go harder with you. Granted that it is as you say, I mean to have it so. Sit down, hold your tongue, as I bid, for if I once began to lay my hands about you, though all heaven were on your side, it would profit you nothing. Rewind. Wife, said Zeus, I can do nothing but you suspect me and find it out. You will take nothing by it, for I shall only dislike you the more, and it will go harder with you. Granted that it is as you say, I mean to have it so. Sit down, hold your tongue, as I bid. For you, if I once begin to lay my hands about you, though all heaven were on your side, it would profit you nothing. He's threatening his wife. She's telling him to stop spreading pain and death. And he says, sit down and shut up. Honey, you already know what I'm doing. By the way, you don't have a say so. What? Stop it. Just stop it. But the heavenly beings were disquieted throughout the house of Zeus, till the cunning workman Hephaestus began to try and pacify his mother Hera. It will be intolerable, said he, if you two fall to wrangling. Dad, quit fucking fighting. Pay attention to your children. Get some patience and spend time with them. If you two fall to wrangling and setting heaven in an uproar about a pack of mortals, if such ill counsels are to prevail, we shall have no pleasure at our banquet. Let me then advise my mother, and she must herself know, that it will be better to make friends with my dear father Zeus, lest he again scold her and disrupt her at our feast. If the Olympian thunderer wants to hurl us all from our seats, he can do so, for he is far the strongest. So give him fair words, and he will then soon be in a good humor with us. As he spoke, he took a double cup of his nectar and placed it in his mother's hand. Cheer up, my dear mother, said he, and make the best of it. I love you dearly, and you should be very sorry to see you get a thrashing. I love you dearly, and should be very sorry to see you get a thrashing. However grieved I might be, I could not help, for there is no standing against Zeus. How many sons have tried to help stop abuse to their mother from another? How many times has a mother pushed their child's help away when that baby tried to say, Mom, we are not safe here with this angry man? Once before, when I was trying to help you, he caught me by the foot and flung me from the heavenly threshold. All day long, from morn till eve, was I falling, till at sunset I came to ground in the island of Lemnos. And there I lay with very little life left in me, till the sentience came and tended me. Hera smiled at this, and as she smiled, she took the cup from her son's hands. Then Hephaestus drew sweet nectar from the mixing bowl, and served it round among the gods, going from left to right. And the blessed gods laughed out loud, a loud approval, as they saw him bustling about the heavenly mansion. Thus, through the livelong day to the going down of the sun they feasted, and everyone had his full share. So that all were satisfied. Apollo struck his lyre, and the muses lifted up their sweet voices, taking turns. But when the sun's glorious light had faded, they went home to bed, each in his own abode, which lame Hephaestus, with his consummate skill, had fashioned for them. So Zeus, the Olympian lord of thunder, tied him to the bed in which he had always slept. And when he had got onto it, he went to sleep with Hera of the golden throne by his side. There's one way to read this. There's a million ways to read this. There's 1,000 ways to understand, to wake up, to look within, to find your peace, to know that this warring, this fighting, this misunderstanding, people twisting words into new meaning, people taking the meaning away from what we know, it ends. It ends when you say so. It ends now. It has already ended. Stand up. Stand proud. Sit down. Sit quiet. Be calm. Find your peace. And never be afraid to stand up and be proud and be loud and be seen. I love you. Love for all brothers. Love for all sisters. Love for all brothers and sisters together. We will build together. We will build everything that everyone needs. We, individuals, will make freedom. We, the individuals, will make peace. We, the individuals, will lay down all arms and outstretch our arms and make the love and the connectivity that God's math, science, and the simple, clear, and present patterns of the universe now make possible to us when we just stop making shit up and get back to discovering what's already here. Find what is natural. Look at what is organic, not as a label, not as a brand. See what you see. Talk about it. Learn to learn again with each other. My call to action for you this week, knock on 5 doors, 5 generations, 5 doors, 5 people you've not talked to in a while, or ever talked to, or ever thought you would talk to. Knock on doors, talk to people, say hello. My name's Michael. I'm a regenerative architect. I have many ideas, lots of thoughts. Sometimes I read books and I understand them different than other people do. I wonder, what do you read? What do you understand? What would you let me share with you, and what brothers and sisters would you share with me? Peace, love, hope, understanding.